The San Francisco 49ers are setting a new standard on how offense can be played in the NFL. They have a superstar coach, a stable of offensive playmakers that can't be touched by the rest of the league, but the real engine behind what they do is their wide zone offense and how Kyle Shanahan uses it to put all his stars in the perfect positions to make plays, and I recreated this offense for you to use in Madden 24. In this video, I'll be breaking down the key principles that make this offense so tough to stop. We're going to have specifically designed plays to attack defenses just like the real life 49ers do, and to replicate this offense, we'll be using these four formations in the Chicago Bears playbook. Now, this is actually all part of a bigger scheme I'm creating where I break down four offenses all based around the wide zone. Then each of these four schemes will be run out of the Bears playbook so they can all be combined and used together as one giant scheme, and the playlist for this whole offense will be linked down in the description. Now, the very backbone of the Niners offense is their head coach Kyle Shanahan and his insanely diverse and powerful run game. He is the son of wide zone offensive inventor Mike Shanahan, and he has expanded on his father's offense and brought it to new heights. So at the base of their attack is going to be their run game, all built around their outside zone runs, where their offensive line will move laterally down the line of scrimmage with a series of double teams before working to the second level, and this sets up the whole rest of their attack. Then as a running back, you want to read these blocks, and as soon as you see the hole, you put your foot in the ground and explode upfield and get in the secondary, where you can start to be explosive and make some huge plays. So we can run this stretch run in either single back tray or single back wing, and the big key is counting the men in the box and running to the side with less players. So this gives us the advantage in the run game where we can get super explosive. Then if we actually have the advantage on the weak side, then we can flip our run that way by flipping the right stick. And in the single back wing version, we also want to motion the wide receiver on the double tight end side, and we want to bring him across the formation. Now he's going to turn into an extra blocker on that side. Now we can recapture the numbers advantage, get downhill, and become super explosive with this outside zone stretch run. Now these outside zone runs can be crazy explosive, and I broke down exactly how to read them out so you can become unstoppable with this bread and butter run on my website, Scheme Kings, with my wide zone school. And you can check that out to really learn how to dominate with these carries. But where Kyle has really expanded on the wide zone is he brought some more power run game elements to the Niners, with pulling guards to go along with fullbacks and tight ends to bring some more old school power run games to the table. And this has just made his run game so much more dynamic and unpredictable. And this year, the Niners are using the run game to set the table for everything, and they actually lead the NFL in rushing attempts, and they run the ball on 47% of their plays. So for a power run that I really like, we are going to use Power O in weak H close off. This is a great run where once we snap the ball, we really want to be patient and let our blocks set up with our pulling guard and fullback out in front. And then once they hit their blocks, you can explode out from behind them and get into the open field for some really big pickups. Then the Niners love to use pre-snap motion with their tight ends and fullbacks, and this run has the same thing. And now this will help us flip the numbers in our favor and get our fullback out in front where he can lead the way and help make this run even more dangerous. Then off the run game, the next thing that makes the Niners so tough to stop is their deadly use of play action to take their offense to the next level. The Niners want to use their hard play action fakes to pull down linebackers and safeties, allowing their weapons to get in behind defenders on the second level, and this is one of the keys that makes them so dynamic. So the first play we're going to look at is PA tight end corner and I form H close, and this play will give us a play action fake with options attacking both the middle of the field and the sideline. Now to set this up, have your tight end to the wide side, then take your wide side receiver and put him on a fade. Then take the backside receiver and motion him out. This is optional, but it is going to give him more room to operate over the middle of the field. Now the first thing we were trying to do here is use this play action to affect and pull down the user. And if we get him to bite down on the fake, then we want to look right to the middle of the field with our deep crosser. And now with the user out of position, this should allow us to hit this for a big gain over the middle. Then if the play action doesn't affect the user much, we want to work the wide side of the field and read the flat defender. If he stays shallow, you should have this corner route deep along the sideline. You can fire it in for a big pickup. Then if you do your fake and you look to the wide side and the flat defender is getting depth under your corner route, then just drop it down to your fullback in the flats and let him get those easy yards underneath. Now, one of the most common types of play action the Niners employ is the boot. And this is going to be a super hard fake one way. Then the QB will roll out the opposite way and you will get the flow of the D going to the run. Then the receivers will be be flowing back towards the QB, and then the Niners will look to hit deep corner routes or crossers over the middle. And the Niners actually use play action the 6th most in the NFL this year, showing how important it is to their offense. Now, our hard boot action play is going to be PA boot LT in single back wing, and here we have some great routes attacking the middle and deep along the sideline. To set this up, have our tight ends to the short side of the field, then take your short side receiver and motion him across the field, and this will be the same motion as our HB stretch play in this formation that we went over earlier in the video. Now, after the motion, this player will turn into a deep corner route. Then the last adjustment is to put the outside receiver on the wide side onto a streak route. Now, to start this, we want to have this hard play action fake, and we want to get the linebackers and users stepping that way. Then we are going to have a hard boot out the other direction. And if the D-line jumps inside, then we want to boot out of the pocket. Now we're going to have this deep corner route breaking out. We can just drop this in along the sideline for a massive pickup. Now, if you do the play action fake and the D end is getting upfield and not going to let you boot outside, then tap R2 and you will pull up in the pocket. Now you can set your feet and throw from here, and you can still hit that deep corner route if open. Then next, if we do the play action fake and we look to the corner route and it is taken away, and if the user is leaving the middle to try to help on that corner route or get to the sideline, then we're going to have this tight end on a crosser and we can just fire it into him over the middle. Then lastly, on this play, if you do your fake and boot out, but the corner route is taken away and the flat defender is staying deep, then you can throw it to your other tight end in the flat and let him chew up some easy yards underneath. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video where I give you 8 more plays for this Niners offense that includes some great runs, some really good ways to beat man coverage, and a ton of ways to shred zone coverage for big plays. Then also on the site, you can get access to my wide zone school where I go over some of the concepts and plays that are vital for making this offense work. And there's going to be a ton more on the site for this wide zone coming up as we move through the offense. Then also on the site, you can find my 2 full schemes that are out so far in Madden 24 with my NFL spread offense and my Georgia Bulldogs match-based defense. Also, you can get access to my playbooks, which are fully written breakdowns for my schemes with 8 out so far, and my newest being my Georgia Bulldogs match coverage-based defense, and it's 38 pages long, and you can utilize it to take your defense to a whole nother level. Then starting today, we have a sale on the site. Use code WIDE at checkout for 50% off your first month, and this sale is going to run till December 12th. If you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Then one of the things that really makes this Niners offense stand out is their play calling by Kyle Shanahan, and every week he is pushing how creative teams can get in the NFL to the next level, and he is one of the true mad scientists that the game has today. Now, one of his go-to concepts that he will bring out a few times each year is the drag wheel, where usually it will be a tight end is going to fake a drag, then he's going to cut up field away from the flow of the defense, and this is one of the ways he can creatively get one of his best playmakers into the open field for huge pickups. Now, the version we are going to be running is PA drag wheel in single back wing, and to set it up, have your tight ends to the short side, then you want to motion the short side receiver over, put the wide side receiver on a streak, then put the outside tight end on a block and release crosser. Now, this play is going to start with a hard play action fake, and this is going to be super important because we want to pull the user down and get him out of position, and he's really going to be the key. When we see him do this, now we can sneak this drag wheel up the sideline, and as long as the flat defender is staying shallow, we can fire it in for a big pickup. And this is really one of the most effective deep shots you can hit in Madden, and we're also going to have this streak running off the deep blue defender on this side of the ball, and as long as the user stays shallow, you can really fire it in for a ton of big gains. Then if we run the play action fake and we see the user start to run with the drag wheel, or they have a deep flat defender to that side taking it away, then this motioned over comeback is going to break into the middle of the field and sit down, and if the user is out of position, then you can drop it in for a really nice pickup. Then lastly on this play, if you hit your play action and the drag wheel is taken away, and same as the deep comeback, then you just want to drop it down to the other tight end in the flat, let him pick up those easy yards. Another key aspect that the Niners bring to their offense is their heavy utilization of motion, which they use to create mismatches all over the field. They use it in both the run game to spring ball carriers and the pass game to open up new route combinations. In fact, the Niners use motion the second most in the entire NFL during the 2023 season. Now, we're going to incorporate motion heavily in our offense as well, whether it's motioning a wide receiver out from the ball, moving a wide receiver or a tight end end completely across the field, or even executing full formation shifts. And by snapping the ball on these plays before defenses can react, we will open up numerous opportunities down the field for big plays. For our full formation shift, we are going to start in single back tray, then audible to empty chips quads. This shift will have our running back almost become another tight end in our empty look. The empty quads formation is highly effective and allows us to attack all areas of the field. So before we actually get on the field, make sure you set your audibles up like this for gun empty quads. Now the first play we're going to look at in gun empty quads is HB screen. To set it up, call any play from the single back tray formation, but come out with your trips to the wide side of the field. Then once at the line, audible over to our HB screenplay and watch your running back move down like another tight end. Then snap the ball, let the pass rush come in, and then drop it down to your running back, who will have a wall of blockers out in front. Then you want to run with patience and allow your blockers to get in position, and you can pick up massive gains on this play. The Niners love utilizing McCaffrey as a pass catcher and frequently incorporate him into their screen game. This strategy allows him to be incredibly dynamic with the ball in his hands, and we want to do the same. By shifting to this screenplay, you can catch defenses off guard with this full formation shift. Now you'll have your running back in the flat, you can drop it off to him and just let him be a playmaker with the ball in his hands. Then with this full advantage shift, we can call the play slot sail in empty chips quads, and this is going to be an amazing man beater that is going to give us 5 great man beating options on the field at once to make this play so tough to stop. To set this up, start with any play in single back tray and have your trips to the wide side once again, then audible over to slot sail in empty chips quads. The only adjustments needed are putting the tight end and running back on whip routes. First, check our slot receiver running the out route. I have short and elite on this player, and his ability will activate at the top of his route, allowing him to separate from man coverage, and we can fire this in for a really nice pickup along the sideline. If you don't love the look of the out route, we have this deep cross attacking the middle of the field, and as long as the user doesn't run with this route, expect plenty of separation and opportunities for massive gains down the field. For check down options, we have our 2 whip routes. Choose whichever one has more separation underneath if you're not getting anything open on your deeper options. Lastly, we can check to the deep post if there's no safety help in the middle of the field, and if we see him separate on the post, then we can bomb them deep, adding a cherry on top to this play and making this overall one of my favorite man beating plays I have used all year.
Then I'm also going to be doing a giveaway for a free month on Steam Kings. All you have to do is go to Twitter, follow my King Reggie Twitter account, then retweet the tweet I make for this Niners offense, and I'll draw one of the retweets for a free month. Then if you're already a member of Steam Kings, you can still enter and win a free month.
The Niners offensive attack becomes even more lethal with their 5 elite playmakers, boasting some of the NFL's most dynamic athletes all on one team. Shanahan masterfully uses his scheme to get the ball into open space for his top players, resulting in a highly dynamic offense. This has them ranking 2nd in yards per play in the NFL, averaging 6.4. Our go-to play here is going to be the end around lead in single back wing. We want our tight ends to the short side of the field. Upon snapping the ball, we will see the same motion as our HB stretch play or some of our play action plays in single back wing. However, now we're going to fake the handoff and we're going to have our receiver run an end around in the opposite direction. The goal is to have the defense flow towards the running back during the fake handoff. Then our tight end is actually going to pull out in front, becoming a lead blocker. And if he picks up his block, this can spring us for some massive touchdowns, and this run is so explosive. The Niners love utilizing their elite playmakers like Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel as ball carriers in their offense, using motion to get them the ball in space where they can become some of the most unstoppable players in the NFL. The end around lead is a prime example of how we can shift the entire flow of the defense one way, get our elite playmaker the ball in the open field going the other way, and then we can use him to make defenders miss while showcasing our playmaking abilities. Then the final frontier for this Niners offense is when they get defenses cheating to stop the run or biting on their motions, then they can hit their deep playmakers over the top for big gains. The play we're going to discuss here is PA post in I form close off, and this is a super explosive cover 3 one-play touchdown that you can use to bomb these looks over the top. To set it up, have your tight end to the wide side and put him on a streak, then take the solo receiver, motion him out, and put him on a comeback. You want to start this play with a play action fake, which hopefully will pull down the user. Then in the secondary, if it's cover 3, you'll see the backside corner get held down by the comeback route. The middle safety will be held in place by our tight end streak, and our deep post will be cutting over the middle, and as he cuts over to the short side of the field, bomb them over the top, and this can be a deep one-play score against cover 3. Now, this Niners offense is going to be one of the best you use all year. And then remember, there's a part 2 up right now on Scheme Kings, but then if you want a full breakdown of the idea behind the wide zone and a deep dive into the personnel and abilities we will be using for this offense, then you need to check out the intro video for the wide zone right here.